Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem, Barakah, Kudash. Double honors unto the elder apostles, the great millstone, all well, and shalom to the whole full elect. This is by Allah, and this is an update. The date today is the 20. Well, actually, it's the 24th today, 24th of January, 2025. The hopeful year. Sorry, the year of judgment. Um, man, Salakia. I apologize. I always slip up with this. I need to get my reps in with this year, the title this year. So lucky, I apologize. But yeah, this is just an update as far as watching as well as praying, man. All right, we're in that time where you need to be watching and praying because the times are evil. So as it tells you in the book of Habakkuk, with the or stand upon our watch, basically. Whoops. We're meant to be standing upon our watch, basically, and measuring the time diligently. Okay, so I'll open with this. It says, Habakkuk 2:1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Right, so I was standing upon our watch. So with that being said, I got this article where I've seen many a brother do a video on it, or I know. Yeah, at least one video has been done on it where it's been mentioned. But basically, this is this is in line with the flavor of or the what's going on in these times. Because when you deal with the UK, Keir Starmer, the present um, Prime Minister, basically said at the turn of the year that the UK will pioneer or will be the first AI. I can't remember what he said verbatim, but it'll be the first AI nation, all right, or technologically advanced nation. And he said that that's the agenda that they have in mind. Now, prior to that, last year in November, they rolled out AI speed cameras, but then after its success, after 3 weeks, they basically ramped it up, excuse me, to saying it would go nationwide. So now and these speeding cameras, what they will be able to see is based on the algorithm, the AI, whatever it's using, they can identify if someone's been drink driving on the road. So this is where we're going. All right. Big Brother, George Orwell, Brave New World, a lot of these things are based in the UK. And this makes sense. All right. This is the mother of the harlot. And you have, the elites over here. So if you're in a backyard or back garden, how they, what they're gonna be on. They're gonna be making sure that everything's under wraps. Same with, New York. New York's part of America. The First Amendment right, I believe, or the Second Amendment right, um, the right to bear arms is part of the nation's. Um, I forgot the name of that word. The nation's. So lucky, excuse me, I'm kind of tired. The nation's constitution, and basically in New York, it's basically you more or less can't have a gun. All right, you don't have that right. And why is that? Because it's closely twinned to the United Kingdom. All right. So, with that being said, let's read a bit of this. And Lord, you'll be edified. So it says, the headline says, digital passports among IDs to be available in UK government app. The app announced by Peter Kyle, the Secretary of State for Technology, will launch in June with driving license and veteran cards, the first available IDs. So the first, showing you there's going to be a rollout and it's going to, compound upon each other to a final destination, which we know is our, you know, the MOTB, all right, the mutable CHIP, all right, that they want to put in everyone. That's what's going to happen. Excuse me. So it says UK citizens could soon be able to carry their passports in a digital wallet on their phones, along with their driving license, universal credit account, and marriage and birth certificates. All right. So a one-stop shop for all your biometrics, all right, your identity needs. The plan was announced by Peter Carl, the Secretary of State for Science, Innovation and Technology, as part of the new smartphone app to supply interactions with government services. Right, you have, as what was previously known, the Internet of Things, and now you have the Internet of Persons, I want to say. Internet of Bodies, that's it. All right. Which basically is forming a network, all right, of people. It says what is meant by the internet bodies. The internet bodies an ecosystem of internet connected devices that monitor the human body and collect personal biometric data. So this is where it's moving to, and that's where you see these uh, the foundations being laid. All right, it's been laid for a little bit. The iWatch was one of the greatest moves toward that. But then also, these are further building upon that foundation, ultimately leading to the CHIP. So as the plan was announced by Peter Carr, the Secretary of State of Science for Science, Innovation and Technology, as part of the new smartphone app to simply simplify interactions with government services. He said it meant the overflowing drawer rammed with letters from the government and hours spent on hold to get a basic appointment will soon be co-signed to history. The first government issued credentials that people will be able to carry in a new digital wallet to launch in June will be a driving license and a veteran card. The government's digital service plans to then roll out the access to accounts relating to student loans, vehicle tax benefits, childcare, and local councils. Carl said his department is working with the Home Office on allowing digital versions of passports. This would continue to exist alongside physical copies, and the ability to use them to pass through foreign borders will be limited by other countries' border systems, officials say. So you can see they're more and more fleshing out this system whereby you can take this beast system can be put into play and really have its tentacles around the world. All right, it's a calling for everyone to update, modify, modernize, uh, to establish a system. Carl said we're keeping a close eye on international standards. When those standards become clearer, then, of course, you have the government that would aspire to be able to benefit from as much as possible. The digital wallet, which would be similar to the wallets on Apple and Google devices, would be tied to an individual ID and will be sufficient to prove a person's status. Officials say, for example, a new football coach for a community team will be able to instantly share their disclosure requirements certificate, or a person who receives benefits will be able to easily claim welfare discounts from traders who offer them. Kyle said there was currently no plan to use it to prove immigration status, but added, "We're just we're just in the foothills of this." Right. All right. So let's look up this word foothills real quick. A low mountain or low hill at the bottom of a larger mountain range of mountains. Right. So it shows you that they have a greater agenda at play, and these things they're mentioning is basically getting the ball rolling. And we can see because this 2020 to 2024 is the start, 2020 being the start of the decade, all right, and we understand Agenda 2030 and these things here. They entitled this at the turn of the decade as well. I believe it's a decade of change or something to that effect. All right, um, decade of action. That's what they called it. All right, decade of action. So when you do the maths, 2020 to 2024 is the first 5 years. 2025 to 2029, all right, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the last 5 years. All right, so this is where they really want to, put things into gear and move towards developing that system. And, the things that have been set in play going the last 5 years can really be, a sure foundation can be laid upon it. A short, not foundation, but the building could be laid upon it. Officials said that losing a phone will not mean losing the wallet, as there will be systems to enable recovery. Kyle also tried to allay I fears over data breaches, saying that the design of the app is very comfortable within the existing data law. Speaking at a launch event in East London, inspired in part by Silicon Valley product launches, Kyle said, "We're going to transform the relationship between citizen and state." Um, that says quite a lot. He said people who are under 18 who have grown up with smartphones would view government today and a paper-based bureaucracy as backward. All right. Um, Making government services more online does not mean that these people who can't access the internet will be left behind. He said, in fact, that we are the fact. In fact, what we are discovering is that the more we make online services easier to access, we as a government can start focusing on human resources and those people need and can only interact in a human way. We will deliver public services and more human and not less. The technology has been developed in the last 6 months since Labour took power and will include features that are built into modern smartphones, including facial recognition checks. So, the ball. This is what's going on. All right, it's moving towards this now. It's funny because even let's go to Wiki and look at passports. All right, Man, this is a video in itself. But yeah, uh, this goes a bit deeper. I didn't want to really go that deep, but hey, man, um, yeah, this is a whole lot. But I know that it was introduced um, amid the world wars is when they became um, basically during World War. I read this little segment here. During World War One, European governments introduced border passport requirements for security reasons and to control the immigration of people with useful skills. Those controls remained in place after the war, becoming a standard through controversial procedure. And this is the point. You know, this was something introduced as a contingent for the moment, but then was upheld, all right, and it was controversial in its placement, all right, when it became a standard. British tourists of the 1920s complained, especially about attached photographs and physical descriptions, which they considered led to nasty dehumanization. And this is crazy because this shows you that when you now go fill out a job description and asking you for your nationality, your name, date of birth, place of residence, etc., etc., it opens up the floodgates for, you know, you being dehumanized. Right? If you have a certain type of name, say if you're Jake, for example, and your name is DeQuavius or Jerome, Jermaine, uh, J, J, Jaleroy, you know, and you got, then they're gonna look at you and size you up accordingly. Trevor, all these different type of things, yeah. But that shows you that actually back then these people were more of, even though they weren't, they had more of a sovereignty to themselves. They understood that well, that's not, we don't need to do that because they moved without it prior. The British Nationality and Status of Aliens Act was passed in 1914, clearly defining the notions of citizenship, creating a booklet form of the passport. All right. So, this is what's going on. All right. This man is going to basically do this. So I read this is funny enough. Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Right. This man, he has taken on this law of this book. And really, there's no, all he's really done is brought damnation upon himself because, this man is, deafer than an adder. All right. He's hard of hearing. But as it says, the just shall live by his faith, and it's talking about the elect. So the fact that this man is taking this on, it's a curse unto him. All right, but reading on the 8 also, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man. Yeah, this man is a proud man. All right, he is an extremely proud man. All right, he transgressed by his philosophy. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. Right, look at how when you go into the passport, how he dealt with his own people, infringing on their rights. And this is where it started. This is the seed that germinated and has festered into what it is today. All right, whereby everyone has a passport, but it's not stopping there. It's basically going to the point where everyone's going to be sea hipped. All right, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. Who gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And normally that's what he intends to do with the sea hip. All right, and these digital IDs and everything of that nature is the works being put in play. So with that, I pray you're edified to the next one. Say shalom, shalom.